Everybody ready?
All right, everyone, good evening and welcome to another coaching session. We have Barcelona de Catalunya in Spain, hosted by the speedy boy Colin Matyac.
Yeah. Not the speediest boy, but a speedy boy in the Pro Division. Hopefully just gonna show a slow lap, and then kind of go over every corner, lines, exits, power, where to put the power on, where to brake, all that good stuff. And then show a fast lap, and then help anybody out if they need anything. And if you are just watching the video and not actually in the coaching session, you can just reach out to me on Discord and ask for tips, and I will help you out. So starting off with the straight, we have a beautiful GTR right behind us. Looking good. He's now in front of us, where he should be. It's going to be a little quick going out on the straight. Very long straight, top speed. Kind of a big deal here. But you're basically going to be looking, coming over on the white curb. Actually, I'm going to back up a little bit. Now for the Audi, I typically brake right here on track. Right about when my front gets to the 100-meter line. Just about, give or take. Sometimes it's a bit difficult. If you miss it, you can really overshoot it. So the 100-meter line can be on the limit depending on the car that you're driving. So kind of wiggle around through there. But you're really braking all the way until you get to the apex. I'm still on the brakes by the time I get to here. And at that point, I'm off the brakes. I'm in second gear for a little bit. On the gas, into third as I go over that bump. And it kind of helps the car just recover over the big bump. Doesn't spin the wheels up too much, so I don't stall. Then this is probably the trickiest corner of the track. You can gain 2/10 here or lose it. It's very easy to do so. You kind of start just rolling through, and the car will start to push out wide on you. And you don't really want to fight it. You just want to slowly lift off, make sure the car rotates, and then get back on the power again. It's a weird balance and a weird kind of just knife's edge that you have to find. But you should end up just in the middle of the track about here before you head down into turn 4. Now come race time, don't do a Hamilton and Rosberg. Don't kill your teammate, but you want to brake right about to the bridge. Just a little bit before this and back up again just to see the white line that I usually aim for. Again, over on the left on the curbs, we're coming in kind of at a sharp angle. So hit the brakes pretty hard, downshift into second gear usually for the Audi. And then I kind of hit this line right here, come out a little wide, and slowly kind of ride the corner out. Kind of like the right-hander from earlier. It's almost the same thing. You want to be in kind of the middle of the track and end up just in the middle of the black and white Assetto Corsa signs. Then you power your way down here. A tricky braking zone, not really a good brake marker. Basically what I use is the crest of the hill. So right when you see the apex of the corner. We'll back up just to see it again. So about right here, you'll come up and you're looking right under the Fanatec logo. And then boom, you're on the brakes fairly hard. It's a tricky corner, it's downhill. And you're still over on the right until you get about here, your second gear, rolling through, trying to carry as much speed as possible and getting on the power as early as possible. You can stretch it out wide out here if you want to. I'm not too sure if it's really going to make or break your time. It can slow you down coming into this turn, but it's all preference or based on car you have. If you got some understeer, it's not really going to hurt you if you run out a little wide. Over here, we're braking right at the curbing. It's the perfect braking mark. You're coming in, hit third gear, downshift to second gear, and you're going to try and late apex it. Maybe go over, dip your wheel over that red and white curb. Just about right here. This is what it's going to look like. You're going to dip, come over the red and white curb, and you're going to feel your wheel latch on the inside of it. And then all you're going to do is straight line it over this one and straight line as much as possible into the fast right-hander. You're going to come up. You can touch the curb on the outside if you're feeling risky. And then you're going to flick the car on the right, hit the apex right about here. So your apex should be pointing basically like you're going to the MotoGP track. But you're going to be carrying enough speed to where you're going to run out wide. You'll be a little bit wider on exit. You can carry the speed. Track limits are kind of scary there. You can basically put the whole car off the curbs and it will be fine. But if you go just a millimeter too far off the curb, you're gonna get a warning, which is kind of annoying. Over here, we're braking just before the 100-meter mark. It's a really tricky corner for mid-engine cars, or at least I noticed in the Audi. The rear likes to step out a lot. Maybe we'll see it here. Nope, he did it good. He's a better driver. So you're coming in, you're braking hard. Right about here is where the car, when you turn in, kind of wants to step out on the rear. The rear brakes might lock up, so you might want to adjust the brake bias, brake pressure, or just the ABS to make it easy. But it's overall, it's just a simple hairpin. You just kind of get through it. It kind of just sucks, honestly. It's a really shitty corner. Then here, you straight line this as much as possible. The car will get light, but it's kind of a hit or miss whether you're going to make the corner with the car getting light and loose, or if you're going to make the corner straight and it's going to feel comfortable and drivable. It's really just a coin flip. For this corner, though, it's really tricky. It's really slow, understeery. Second gear, you want to get on power about like 3/4 the way through the corner. It's about the best. You want to bring it out wide. It can be really easy to oversteer right here, or even just easy enough to get out onto the gravel too far to the left. But you want to spot your braking zone, which will go back just a little bit. Oh, I got disqualified. I didn't even drive that far.
Dahi, are you logged in as an admin?
This is awkward, man.
Yeah, that's all good. Dahi? He has left the building.
I gotcha.
Okay, good
Cool.
deal. Thank you, brother.
I was typing.
So do big burnout in the pits after you get disqualified. Rejoin the track dangerously.
This is the real Colin Matyac. All right, take it away,
on
bro.
a fake this whole time.
Yeah, this is a facade. This is the real Colin.
So I guess we'll get it a little up to speed how to do the third sector. So car's washing out, off the gas, breathe it a little bit. Car comes back and I'm full on the power. Still in the middle of the track, coming over wide. Hitting the brakes hard, second gear, hitting that inside apex, and then kind of drifting it out wide. Easy on the gas, car likes to get a little loose. Hit the black and white sign, crest the hill, see the apex, down the gears, didn't want to shift to first. Coast through, roll it through. Hit the exit nice, you can run that wide. Alright, here, tricky braking zone, second gear. Miss the apex just a little bit, not going to hurt too much time. Straight line it as much as possible. Left, touch the curb a little bit, flick it in, hit the apex, full power to the exit of the curb. A little bit tricky in front engine cars, they do want to kind of understeer there. But hard on the brakes at the 100-meter board. Careful the rear doesn't step out. Rotate the car nicely, on the power as early as possible, run it wide. Try and straight line this as much as possible. Hit the brakes right after you crest the hill. Slowly roll your way through this really awkward corner, on the gas hard. Hit your braking zone, which is about right at the dark point. Hit that apex, which is really tricky because that sausage curb is scary. Your braking zone is going to be right under this bridge for the final sector, which is the worst section of corners in motorsport history. But basically, it's just simple left, right, chicane. Hit that, don't hit the curb. Try and straight line this as much as possible, and you can run on that yellow curb. Final corners flat out for most cars can be a little tricky on heavy fuel, but that's a slow lap of Barcelona while being disqualified. So we're going to do a fast lap at fairly heavy fuel and improper tire pressures. Hopefully it's somewhat decent. And I fucked it up already.
Go ahead and just go back to the pits and get your tires and everything dialed in. While you're doing that, does anyone have any questions about the track layout or anything like that specifically?
I had one for the first corner. Do you recommend going off and to the left or not?
I recommend if you're not braking, if you're braking at the 100-meter mark, like if you go watch a Coach Day video, every single time they're going to be over on the left, braking in there, but sometimes it's a bit tricky to slow the car down in time because it's not as grippy as the black stuff. But if you're still watching, I'll do it right here. It's like I usually have just 2 wheels over there, hit the brakes, and then I'm coming over already before I even hit the apex. So I'm literally just over there to start braking, and then I slowly merge onto the asphalt back into the apex. But it's
Okay.
all a preference thing. You're not going to lose or gain too much time from doing it. So
That last corner you just went through, I have realized how important it is to get on the throttle as early as possible. Is there a marker that you look for that you know, like on a hot lap, that you should be full throttle by, or do you just
which
do it all by feel? Turn
which corner?
three.
The really long right-hander?
Yes, sir.
It's for the Audi, it's all by feel. Like I'll go
Okay.
through the corner and it's understeer. I get off the gas and I see the nose of the car start rotating and I feel the nose of the car start rotating, and that's when I know to get back on the gas.
Okay.
When I go back around again, I'll try and see if there's anything you can kind of aim for if the car's pointed. Uh, but basically, if it starts understeering too much, I wouldn't fight it. It's better to run wide than to like just fight the understeer, because
All
running
right.
wide is not going to be the end of the world for that corner.
I guess I'll ask another one right now. When I was running laps, my tires were like blowing up in temperature and getting yellow, like the left sides especially, pretty
hmm
damn quick. Do you have concerns on the tire? I mean, I remember not changing tires before when we raced here. Um,
The When I raced here last, I changed tires,
you did? Okay.
and it almost worked. I lost the race by about 3/10 of a second, behind Doug and PBJ. Kind of unfortunate, but it's gonna be tricky. The track's gonna be quite hot, so it's all. I would say don't take tires. Just kind of be cautious, be slow, be careful.
Okay.
But
So
all right, we'll
definitely
see.
manage tires.
hmm So basically, what I just looked for right there is that first orange barrier. If I notice the car is coming around the corner nicely, uh, then I can get onto the power quite early.
There's a couple Pirelli signs on the right, and
That as well.
yeah, the second one, as long as they're intact, I lift a little bit there and let the car kind of rotate back in, and then I get back on it again. But those signs can be taken out, so it's kind of a feel thing at that point.
Do you ever tap the brakes going into this right
This
to
one,
rotate the car? Yeah.
yeah, I just kind of kissed the brakes, not hard at all. With the Audi, just a little bit goes a long way.
All right.
But maybe with a front engine car, you might have to have a bit more of a rearward brake bias and maybe a big ol' hunk of brake. Car wants to step out on you every single time. Hard on the brakes, carry the speed. Try and flow the section as much as possible. It's super tricky, really easy to mess up and get wrong, but you can see I found 2/10 there after losing it from my mistake. So I have about 4/10, maybe even 6 on that lap with this car right now. So I'll do another one because now I know what I'm doing. Couple mistakes in the third sector, but overall still a decent lap, still a 44.6. So 2 thousandths off Evan's time. Geez, that top three within 5 thousandths of a second. That is a little absurd. And I know there's time to gain everywhere. But it's all about getting laps in, feeling the car, feeling how it's reacting. And like if you're putting too much throttle down, like, and you want to get frustrated, the car's spinning out, it has so much exit oversteer. Just be slower on your throttle application, and it goes a long way. It's not necessarily be later on it, just be slower on it. It'll really set the car up nicely. One rule I almost follow is don't be 100% full throttle until you are 100% straight on the corner. So until you're 100% straight on exit, I wouldn't be full throttle. It's a good way to learn how to do throttle control. Now sometimes there's exceptions, like right there I'm full throttle because the car can handle it. But now for this corner, for example, being on full throttle right here would make me understeer. But slowing it down, I'm able to rotate the car very nicely here. I tried an upshift last lap. It was a little slower, so I'm just going to be slow on throttle. And there's a few hundredths. Here I got really loose, so I'm going to be slower on throttle. Car feels perfect. Here I'm a bit sideways, too much steering input, but the car's not stepping out on me. Just made a little mistake. So there's a couple laps, walk through. Anybody have questions? Cool. I expect everybody to do 44.9s.
Oh, I got one.
Okay.
After the hairpin in the second sector, and then you're taking that left-hander uphill in second.
The like short little left-hander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you avoid exit oversteer in that little left-hander?
Keeping the steering lock as minimal as possible, so trying to straight line the corner. A good way to do it is if you are, no matter what, like if you straight line it, find a good line that's like kind of minimizing the oversteer. Try and just a little baby lift when you're going over it. So like right when you hit the curb, your rear tires hit that curb, I would just do a little baby lift, and it will kind of help the car keep the rear down, keep it from stepping out on you.
Gotcha.
And you'll learn if you've a good thing for everybody to do is when they're out on track is to follow someone. So let's say like Dahi goes out on track and he's following, I don't know, I guess me, and just don't necessarily try and push as hard to keep up, just try and mimic their movements. And it really helps to learn the track and to learn like, okay, where can I find time, where are they finding time, and like what's different. It's a very good way to learn.
Well, that was excellent. Thank you.
I have a little question about the chicane in the third sector. Do you know if like the Bentley can eat those curbs, or like should everyone be avoiding those?
I do not know. I know the Audi will get launched. And
Jacob, are you talking about the sausage curbs in the third sector, like the chicane?
Yeah, exactly there. Yeah.
Avoid those at all costs.
In any car.
Yeah, avoid those at all costs. Yep.
I mean, you can try it.
I'll try it right
You
now.
can probably eat them in the Camaro GT4, but that's the only car you can do it in.
If you touch that, you're going to be losing a lot of time.
Yeah, there's sometimes, Jacob, where I'll barely like clip the corner of the tire on the corner of the curb, but if you actually hit it, you're definitely going to lose some time. You want to almost like barely run over like the last little inch of it on the inside, and that's your max.
Okay.
Oh, I have a question. Can you go over the pit entrance? Like, do you know the breaking point for it, or do you have one?
No, I haven't done it in a while actually. Dahi, you want to try it?
I don't know it.
Colin, why don't you
Okay.
get back out on track and kind of feel it out while I'm on track with other people, and then when you have it dialed in, you can show everybody.
Okay. I guess.
The burden we all carry, right?
Yeah. Just brake, like, fuck.
Downshift.
Slow down. Like,
Turn
I
on
don't
your
know.
pit assist, bro.
Yeah, don't do what I did to Doug last night. Or yeah.
Yeah, I
Don't
like,
hit the car.
I don't like being
Don't hit the car in
sodomized.
front of you.
Use the car in front of you as brakes. Yes, got it.
Yeah. Impregnate the car in front of you.
Yeah,
Works every time.
It was really flattering, Sam, but never again.
All right, if anybody's watching, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll watch.
I guess watch. Don't watch that part.
Where are the typical passing corners here? Or like where to expect moves to come from?
Almost. There's like a lot of good ones. Turn 1, into turn 4, turn 5, 6,
Pretty much every braking zone.
8, yeah. Any decent braking zone, if you're able to get alongside somebody, you can pass them. I would be cautious coming into the more technical sections because it's harder to go side by side, like into the third sector. It can be
right
really
here.
really tricky to like dive bomb somebody right there. It's really hard to see it coming, but it's very easy to dive bomb them because the way the line is. All right, let's see. So we're doing this is really bad. Don't do that.
There's a penalty.
I didn't get a penalty.
Yeah, not in practice.
I slowed down.
Yeah, fair.
I think
I find that taking it in like third
it's
gear.
so bumpy.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. But you take it in third gear, and then downshift to second, carry that momentum, and I think there's a red wall on the right that kind of stops, and that's where I was braking, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I fucked that up.
Duran's going around for a lap. Let's take a gander, and then if it's a bad one, hopefully he can show us a pit entry. If it's a good one, he can keep on going.
So the Porsche has really short gears, right?
It's just really slow.
It's
Straight
definitely
line.
a different gearing than what you're accustomed to.
Okay.
What car are you driving?
McLaren.
I would look at my gearing more. They're about the same.
Alright.
The ones that are really different is BMW, Porsche. The GTR is different because the upshift points are so early. But the rest are all about the same. I don't know about the Bentley, but
The Ferrari seems different.
Ferrari is different. Yes, they're like super long for no reason.
Like I almost never get into the sixth gear.
Yep, because Ferrari's fucking weird.
It's looking like Duran invalidated, so show us a pit entry if you can.
Okay.
Por
He's gonna show you
favor.
the stop
Am I
go.
really
He's
the
gonna show you how
most
to get a stop
qualified
go
to be
30.
doing that? Yeah,
Believe it or not.
No. This is the man you chose?
for real.
We got
Mr.
Saniga,
Stop.
Colin in here. I mean, we got literally the trifecta of the pit
Shit,
entry
pit
nightmare.
stops.
But that's okay.
Oh my
Show the gang what it looks like. So he's in third gear, carrying speed.
Probably don't do that.
I brake right at that end of that red wall there. Did you see that one on the
All
right?
right.
Yeah, back up a little bit.
I'm about to come into the pit lane. Better watch
That's
out.
okay. That's okay. Right there, that red wall.
Squeezes it.
Oh, fuck.
Oh. Even then, I sped.
Don't do it.
So it
do
might be
what
a
I
little
did.
bit sooner than that, but depending on
I
how
got
much.
cut off guard.
Yeah, but that being said, that was my point of reference, and you can kind of work off that. Fun. All right. Any more last questions before I turn off the stream and we just go on to practice? Cool. Well, thanks everybody, and a special thanks to Colin Matyac for hosting the session. Thanks for putting the time in, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Colin.
No problem.
Thank you.